The talks over these stimulus checks or these Doge dividend refund payments continue. And the latest update is that we are now hearing more and more reports that these checks are increasing every single day. Just the other day, I told you that if you look at Doge's website, it currently equals about a $715 stimulus check to every single eligible American. That means households would receive over $1,400. That is huge. But there's now a new report that shows some additional money that's been stolen. And now Congress is reportedly looking into this, and they want to give themselves more time to go and recoup all the lost funds. This could actually mean more money for you put into your pocket, into your bank account, and it could mean we are going after the people responsible for stealing the money. That's something big we have not seen over the past few years, but it's all starting to change. So I'm going to break down what's going on here, how Congress is looking at $135 billion in stolen funds, where it's actually, where it went, how we lost it, but what they're going to do to get it all back. So I'll break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So here's where things are at. Over the past 4 to 5 years, the United States has spent trillions of dollars for pandemic-related expenses. With that said, one of the larger amounts of money that went out, and according to reports, there was a lot of fraud here, has to do with unemployment insurance. Now I want to show you something. It says, and this is just from 2 days ago, it says bill targeting stolen taxpayer-funded COVID benefits moves to the Senate. Now, I want to really touch on this because they are saying that there's well over $100 billion in stolen funds, but there's also reports right here that the total of unemployment insurance fraud is about $191 billion. Okay, that's huge. What we know is that millions of people went on unemployment. Okay, the unemployment rate during the pandemic was sky high. And the reason for it, some are saying, is because Congress made it so easy to go and get enhanced unemployment benefits. If you remember, that was $600 more per week, I believe for 13 weeks. And then from, September 2020, I think September 2020 through December 2020, there was an additional $300 that people were getting. So again, a lot of money was distributed. But I want to play this clip for you. Listen to this right here. This is just from the other day.
You say that you found $135 billion in unemployment insurance fraud. You just simplify it for us, will you? Who got the money, and can you get it back?
It's a great question, Stuart Varney. It's $135 billion minimum, could be more, of insurance fraud, unemployment insurance fraud during the pandemic. And I'll tell you who did it: fraudsters, con men, outright thieves who stole American taxpayer money. They didn't make a mistake on a form. They purposely misused the system to steal from us. And so yesterday we launched, or this week, a bill to get the money back. This bill extends the statute of limitations to go after the fraudsters. The Biden administration, for whatever reason, didn't make it a priority to get our money back, but Trump and our great Secretary of Justice, Pam Bondi, will make it a priority to get our money back. So
there you go. So they are now making it a priority to get the money back. Here's where things are actually turning. We are seeing right now the Trump administration, as with the Department of Government Efficiency, the Department of Government Efficiency is looking more at the current spending. The Trump administration and some others as well are looking at past expenses. They're looking at the money that the Biden administration spent during the past 4 years. Some of which went out for pandemic-related expenses. Keep in mind, it was unclear as to what was a pandemic-related expense. I know many people have sent me emails saying what they've seen as far as, I told you before, the education system, okay, public education system. That was one that spent money that they said it was pandemic related, but really it was a very, very far stretch. Very far stretch. Now, I'm not getting to that, but if lawmakers start looking at this, if the Trump administration looks into this, they're going to find it. And reports indicate that there's well over $150 billion in stolen funds. That's just from the unemployment insurance side. But get this, okay? If there's $135 billion in stolen funds from unemployment, and these are from people that, this is what they're saying, okay? There's a lot of people that, again, on top of a person's regular unemployment, there was something through the CARES Act that it was, I believe, 13 weeks of $600 additionally per week. That's $2,400 per month as a bonus on top of their already established unemployment income. Okay, that was huge. But here's what they're saying. If we see $135 billion in stolen funds, if we take 20% of that, again, this isn't something that's really related to Doge because Congress is looking into this, but they're saying, again, it's savings. It's money we can recoup. We can use that money to then appropriate it for other things, or we can take 20%, put it towards this Doge dividend. We can also take 20%, put it towards our federal deficit pay down. Again, a lot of things could happen here. 20%, just to give you an idea, is $27 billion. Now, $27 billion, if we're looking at it from a pay down for the federal deficit, $27 billion is still a pretty good chunk. Now, it's nothing compared to the $36 trillion, but it's something. And as far as the total for the American people for this stimulus payment or this dividend refund check, whatever you want to call it, it would equal about $167 per person or about $325 roughly per household. That's on top of what they already have, which, again, I showed this yesterday, and a lot of people, had questions on it. This is what I showed you yesterday, right here. Currently, there's $115 billion in estimated savings. Comes up to about $714 per person. Okay, now it's a decent saving. That's a decent amount of money that you can put into your savings account. You can pay your rent, your mortgage, your car payment, put food on the table, pay for medication, or like many people are doing right now, they now have to start paying their student loans. Yeah, this could help. But listen to this. They say many people filed claims due to underemployment from their employer. Even when their employers called, even when there was speculation that yes, this person should be working, they didn't come into work. Okay, and so then what happened was people were making more money on unemployment insurance plus the enhanced $600 unemployment benefit or the $300 per week. Again, still $1,200 every single month. In addition to their unemployment insurance, they're making more money on unemployment. They were happy just sitting on the couch. They were happy finding other things to do to make money, something else. And this is now where the IRS's tax records, you can go back and figure out, were people making money on the side? Did they get a different job, but were still claiming unemployment from their prior employer? Yeah, a lot of people did. A lot of people changed positions. They worked on the side. They were doing certain things, building furniture. I know a lot of people were buying and selling stuff online. That was a huge thing. People that got into TikTok started making money on YouTube or doing freelance work. Okay, again, all that is income that they should have counted against their benefits. Many people didn't. Listen to this. Currently, there's more than 150,000 open unemployment insurance fraud complaints, but there's a little over 1,600 open investigations. That's what we know as of right now. But there's something else you need to keep in mind. These are going to continue. Okay, we are going to see more and more of this. All right. Now, look at this. It says currently, more than 2,000 individuals have been charged with and over 1,400 convicted of unemployment insurance fraud since the pandemic began. Okay, that is just recently. But here's what the bill, okay, this is what they're talking about. Because what most people don't realize is that Congress only has a little bit more time. It says currently, the statute of limitations expires on March 27th. That is in 13 days. Meaning if the Senate does not pass the bill in 13 days from today, thousands of Americans will be left unreimbursed for stolen benefits, and potentially hundreds of fraudsters will get away with their crimes. Yeah. Here's the other thing. Even though there's a chance that we extend this statute of limitations past March 27th, there's still a very good chance that investigators aren't able to uncover the fraudsters and the illegitimate claims. So even though there's a chance that, yes, there's reports of over $135 billion in stolen funds, as of right now, it's going to take some time. It's not just going to happen overnight. And according to other reports, that this isn't technically a Doge savings. So some say that they wouldn't want to see 20% of this money go towards this Doge dividend stimulus payment. And instead, they'd rather it just go right down to the federal deficit pay down. But again, that's where there's a lot of open discussions as to if we save any money, anything that we've spent over the past 2 decades, all of it should go back to, or some should go back to the American people, as well as paying down our deficit. So we'll see what happens, but this is just the start. Okay, unemployment insurance was a big bucket of money, but there's still money from PPP loans, the EIDL loans, right? There's so much money from the pandemic that if the Trump administration decides to go after it, we could see, okay, not just millions, maybe not just billions. We could see over $1 trillion in money come back after investigators really look at this. So we'll see what happens, but again, it's all starting. So as we get more information on this, I promise I will bring you all the latest news and updates. That is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.